5x5 pull day. Now, our A exercise, or our big exercise, is chin-ups, all right? But don't worry, if you're freaked out of chin-ups, I'm going to show you an easier option. So guys who are doing chin-ups, if you're doing full chin-ups, you're obviously familiar with them because they're bloody hard to do, so you obviously have a good bit of practice in the bag. Just make sure from the very get-go that we do really good crispy technique, like on all the other days. So it's got to be a full range of motion when you squat, it's got to be down to your chest when you bench, and the same thing, a full range of motion when you do a chin-up. So you're down from a full hang, and that's where you start. You don't start with a jump, okay? You hang full, chest stays up as you lift up, and stretch fully down. Okay, when you're lifting up, you're doing that motion, you're not curling at the top. Okay, so no half reps or no getting up and trying to head yourself over. Keep it tidy to start, alright, because then you're going to have a stable place to build from. If you need a hand, you use a band, okay? Green being the easiest, then purple, then black, then red. Okay, so what you do is you put your knee in, okay? If you want, you can use, we have a little platform there, so you can use that if you want, alright? If you're a little bit small, okay? If you are using it, make sure you start from the bottom again, so you don't just jump in, alright? Because that's dangerous, right? You gotta hang down so there's tension on. But see, I can still keep my leg on that, so I'm stable. Then you let yourself off, and then you pull, okay? And that'll give you a good bit of support, and you use that to get back off. Don't let it fly out, okay? So that it's banging off, giving it one of them, alright, for obvious reasons. Now, again, these are pretty hard. If you find them, like you can't do 5, that's fine. You just keep tidy reps. Let's say with the green, you can only do 3 on the first set. Grand. You do 3, maybe then 2, maybe 1. But then you have your total, okay? So that's for a total of 11, all right? And next week you just try and do 12. That's it, because they are hard and it takes time to get better at them. If you feel a little bit nervous about them, no problem. We're going to do this as an option, right? So you come right down and you go slow on the tempo. Okay, because what that's going to do is it's like hanging on to the bar, but obviously you're not going to be lifting your whole body weight. Okay, and you can make it easier if you come up a bit higher, harder if you're down a bit lower. Okay, but it's going to make your grip and everything else stronger, your core stronger, so it's ready to move on to the even tougher grip and core exercise, which is the chin up. After that, we're going to move on to a bent over row. Now, a very technical version of the bent over row. So it's, I'll show you the correct technique because it's very bent over. All right, so that's going to make the weight seem heavier, and there's a pause at the top. So there's a little break in the knurling there. So guys, you'll probably put your little pinky to that. Ladies, you'll come about 1 inch in. All right. Bend the knees when you're picking it up, and stand. Okay. Then with the chest up, you lean forward, and we see how over we are, but see how the back is curved up. That's the posture you have to get. And we're going to pause at the top, hold, slow down. And like that's really hard. Like, it's not mad heavy, but that's really hard. What we don't want to see is one just going into it. Okay. Don't do that. Alright? So even if you pick it up, don't let the bar drift away from you, or don't. Okay, you know, these type of ones, like that makes you lift way too heavy. So keep the technique really good. We're trying to work on good postural muscles here and training the body to lock in a good squeeze of the upper back. We're going to pair that with another remedial exercise that's going to help our shoulder health, okay? So I'll show you from the side. You're going to lift up like that. So like a lateral raise that we have been doing. You're going to internally rotate, get a stretch, squeeze back, okay? I'm going to show you where you're going to feel it with one hand. Back here. It's your external rotators of your rotator cuff muscle group, okay? You do not swing or throw it. This is not about weight, it's about getting a good range of motion and squeezing at the back. You don't overbend, okay? So again, that's little plates, okay? Little plates until you get the hang of it, because that's a tricky one technically. Okay, so that's the bread and butter. Then we're going to come back to these. If you were using these as your first exercise, they're going to be a lot easier now. So if you were down low, you're going to come a lot higher, okay? If you were doing chins, you can make these harder and come down lower. But we're going to do them buddy style like the other day, okay, all the other days. So me and my imaginary friend Philip here will do it, okay? So we're down there, I do 10, shoot them over to Philip, my good friend, thanks Philip, there you go. Okay, I do 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, you get the gist, okay? As soon as we finish that, we're on the biceps. So finish off the arms, and on this one, pick lighter than normal, because it's going to burn for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we curl up, 10. Make sure you open the arm all the way, okay? So just don't get like swingy or try and lift too heavy. Try and engage the muscles when you open, squeeze, and see the way you finish is kind of there, so you're not throwing through, okay? So you make sure you're working the muscle. So that's it, guys. It's a good solid program this month where you're going to work on building your foundational strength, and we're going to work to a 1 rep max at the end in the primary lift, so in the bench, the squat, and the chin-ups. So you get your chance to have your best effort at them and get your peak numbers in them all. So, but remember, that only starts with laying down the proper technique from day one. So don't get excited day one. Well, get excited, but don't overshoot the weights. All right, I'll see you next week.